Hello friends, welcome to Tutorials Point. In this session, I am going to cover agenda for Agile for a release planning. When a release planning is to be done, what steps are to be taken? So let's see what are the actual steps. When release planning is to be done, actual manager starts like with the opening ceremony. We have a welcome message, we have review purpose and agenda of the release planning, we have organizing tool and introduction to the business sponsors. Okay, what are we going to do in this particular release plan so that our after 3 months of cycle or 6 months of cycle we have these features developed or enhanced to the product. We have product vision and the roadmap. It shows a large picture of the product as a whole, which says okay, down the line in 2 years or 3 years this is the actual product that we are going to deliver or we are going to see in the production. Review previous releases. In this section we check the result of previous releases. So any action item, discussion of any item which can impact the plan, the current release planning. Release name, theme. We name particular theme. We check, inspect current state of roadmap themes and do the requirement adjustments if any. It's simply case if we need to check anything or need to change our release planning, we have to do it at this particular step. Then velocity. Velocity is effort estimates or total effort that team can put in the release planning. Say we have 7 teams, how much total points or velocity we have for these 7 teams. So this step basically checks the velocity of current release and of previous releases so that we can compare them. Release schedule. Release schedule checks the review, key milestone and decision on time boxes. So release and iteration plan can be done within the release. So let's see the further steps. We have issues and any concern. In case anybody raises a concern or issue, then we need to check and record them so that they can be used in later release plannings. Review and update definition of done. This thing is an iterative model. We know definition of done can change from time to time. So we need to review the definition of done for our iteration planning, user stories, everything, and make appropriate changes based on technology, skill of or changes in team members. And since last iteration, if any team member has left the project or something has been added, we need to change the velocity and technical skills if any, we need to update. Then stories and items to be considered. This step is actual thing. Like we need to present the user stories, features from the product backlog to be considered for scheduling. Like these products, these features are to be developed in current release. Determine sizing value. If velocity is not known, then what to do? Then plan the sizing values to be used in release planning. These are like large, extra large, medium, which is size, which says okay, this particular feature takes large time to be developed. So we put the estimate as L. Or we say feature is very big, we put the effort estimate as XL, that means extra large. So we have the sizing instead of if velocity is not known. Then course the size of stories. In case you do not have appropriate size of stories, then checks whether delivery team has that particular thing. Then under consideration and split the user story into multiple stories. This is the case of if I have a particular user story which cannot be completed in a iteration, then I need to split it. So this is the case there I am splitting a particular user story in a 2-part or 3-part. This thing basically happens with large features, where we break features into multiple features so that they can be developed in a particular release. Let's see the next part is we need to map stories to iterations. This says okay, we have say 5 iterations in a release plan, then what stories are to be covered in which iteration. Say iteration 1 will cover these many stories, iteration 2 will cover these many stories, because second story, iteration stories are dependent on iteration 1 story. That's how we plan our stories to be mapped in the iterations. Then new concern or any issue. We need to check if any issue arises. New issue based on previous experience and then record the same. Because team can come up with the issue, there could be a risk, there could be a dependency. Then dependency and assumptions. Check any dependency assumptions planned during the release planning. Then commit. This is a feast of 5 which says how much confidence we have in our release planning. If I say 5, that means I am good to go. If I say 1, that means I am very low on confidence that this particular release planning will be a success or not. So Scrum Master call for feast of five for planning. Delivery team, product owner signals as it's a best plan if they all says 5 or 4, and then commit to move to next level of planning. Iteration planning. Once release planning is done, everybody is satisfied, then we start for the iteration planning. Communication and logistic plan. Then comes the standard things like we need to review, update, communication and logistic planning for the release. Let's see the final steps. We have parking lot. Parking lot means every feature that we have considered to be developed during release have their space properly. So it means all items should be either resolved or set as action items. Whichever features we have taken that are to be developed, they should be either resolved or should be set as action items for the next iteration planning. Distribute action plans, action items. Distribute action items among their owners. So we have defined certain action steps. Let them assign to their owners. And so that we can process the action plan, we need to monitor the action plan. Retrospect. Retrospect says seek the feedback from participants to make the meeting successful. Is there any issue? Let's discuss again. And then close. Celebrate the success of release planning.